Okay, so let's get right into it. In a world that's just jam-packed with these gigantic AI tools, there's a new open source assistant that's making some serious waves by thinking small, like really small. It's called Nanobot, and it's basically this promise of an ultra-lightweight, personal AI that you can run pretty much anywhere.
So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll take a look at the whole AI agent landscape, this crowded world it was born into. Then, we're going to dive into how its tiny size is actually its biggest advantage. We'll walk through what it can do, show you how to get it running in, and I mean this, literally 2 minutes. Then we'll see how it plugs into your world. And to wrap it all up, we're going to tackle a pretty big question. Is this what the future of personal AI is going to look like?
All right, so first things first, let's set the scene. The world of AI agents, these tools that are supposed to automatically do stuff for you, it's just exploded. After some of the first big open source projects really took off, it was like a Cambrian explosion of new tools. Seriously, as one developer put it, all of a sudden there were millions of clones lurking in the wild, and every single one was trying to be the next big thing. But all of this, it brings up a super important question, right? In this mad dash to cram in more and more features, are these tools just getting way too big, too bloated and complicated for the average person, a developer, or a researcher to actually get their hands on, tweak, or even just understand what's going on under the hood?
And that is exactly where Nanobot comes in. See, it takes a totally different path. Instead of trying to build bigger and bigger, its creators decided to build smarter and way smaller. The whole idea was to deliver all that core AI agent power, but in this incredibly minimalist package. Okay, to really get a sense of this, let's put it in perspective. We're going to compare Nanobot to one of the typical big players. Let's just call it Claudebot for our example. So, in one corner, you've got this established, feature-packed heavyweight, and in the other corner, you have this brand new, super lightweight challenger.
And when I say the difference is big, I mean, it's just staggering. An agent like Claudebot, we're talking over 430,000 lines of code. Nanobot, it does its thing in just about 4,000 lines. I mean, think about that. This isn't just a small tweak or a minor improvement. No, this is a complete, fundamental rethinking of what an AI agent should even be.
So yeah, the bottom line is this isn't some tiny little diet. We are talking about a code base that is 99% smaller. And that simple number has huge implications for everything. For speed, for how easy it is to use, and maybe most importantly, for who can actually get in there and build the next cool thing in AI.
Okay, so what does 99% smaller actually get you in the real world? Like, what does that mean in practice? Well, this is where Nanobot's main advantages really start to shine. Turns out, being this small is a really big deal.
So this whole minimalist thing really boils down to a few key benefits. For starters, because it's so lightweight, it's an absolute dream for researchers and developers. I mean, you can actually read through the entire code base and understand it. That makes it so much easier to tweak and experiment with. Then there's the speed. It's lightning fast. It starts up in a flash and doesn't eat up all your computer's resources. And finally, it's just plain easy to use. It's got a one-click deployment that gets you from zero to hero in no time.
But look, don't let the small size fool you for a second. Small does not mean weak. Nanobot is built to be this super talented assistant that can wear a bunch of different hats. It can be your full-stack software engineer helping you code. It can be your smart daily manager automating your schedule. Or it can be your personal knowledge base, helping you learn and remember things.
Okay, I know what you're probably thinking right now. This all sounds great, but it's got to be a pain to set up, right? Well, that's actually where Nanobot really shines. The whole goal for the team was to get you from nothing to having a working AI assistant in, wait for it, 2 minutes.
And no, I'm not kidding. It really is this simple. Step 1, you run a command to get things started. Step 2, you pop open one little file and paste in your API key. And step 3, you just run the agent and ask it something. That's it. Done.
You can literally start by asking it something as simple as, what is 2 plus 2? You type that command and just like that, bam, you have a working, talking AI assistant right there in your terminal. It's that fast, that direct.
Now, what if you're someone who's really big on privacy? Or maybe you want to use your own custom AI models? Well, Nanobot has you covered there too. It hooks up with tools that let you run a powerful language model entirely on your own machine. What does that mean? It means you can use Nanobot completely offline and all your data stays 100% private, right there with you.
All right, but let's be real. An AI assistant isn't all that useful if it's just trapped inside a command line window, right? So let's talk about how Nanobot breaks out and connects to the rest of your world, how it lives inside the apps you're already using every single day.
And this right here is where Nanobot goes from a cool tool to a genuine personal assistant. It plugs right into the communication apps you're probably already using. Getting it working on Telegram or Discord, super easy. With a little more tweaking, you can have it managing your WhatsApp, jumping into Slack conversations, or, and this is wild, it can even have its own email address, replying to messages for you 24/7.
Of course, with all that power and connectivity, you've got to be smart about security. It's a big responsibility. The creators themselves give some really crucial advice here. Don't share sensitive data with it. And don't just set it and forget it. Like any powerful tool, you have to be mindful. You got to keep an eye on what it's doing and use it responsibly, ideally in a safe, controlled environment.
So let's zoom out for a second. What does a tool like Nanobot really tell us about the future? Is this whole focus on being small, on being minimalist, on giving you personal control, is that just a niche little thing? Or are we getting a real glimpse of where personal AI is actually going?
Well, the project's public roadmap gives us some pretty cool clues. The vision here is to take Nanobot from just a text assistant and turn it into a true cognitive partner. They're working on giving it ears with voice transcription and eyes with multimodal support. The plan is to also give it a long-term memory, so it actually remembers your conversations, and to boost its reasoning skills for way more complex stuff, like, managing your whole calendar.
And all of that leaves us with one final, really fascinating question to think about. Is the future of AI going to be owned by a few giant centralized brains sitting in the cloud, all controlled by a handful of big companies, or is it going to be a world filled with millions of tiny, personal, and totally customizable assistants, just like Nanobot, running everywhere on our terms? I guess only time will tell.